Conqueror we haven't had a look at, so let's have a look at it. Okay, so we had a pretty short intro there, but nonetheless we had an intro. And it was nice, wasn't it? It was just bum, bum, ta, bum, bum, ta. A lot of drums. Maybe there was another instrument in there as well. Let's just check it again. I think only 2 bars long though, and we're going quite fast. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's get the tempo tracker. Let's just check how fast that is. Taptempo.io. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow, it's about 180. That's pretty fast. So most things would be around 120 maybe in this style of music, and so this is what, a third faster than that. A third faster. 33% faster, which if you were selling it to someone, that would be a lot faster. That's a heavy investment into going faster. So let's have a listen again to that beginning. Yeah, that's all we've got. We've got kick drum, snare, kick drum, snare. And it's, yeah, classic rhythm. We don't need to go into that right now. And then we're into a thicker texture after that. Okay, just drums to begin with. Relatively dry drums as well for Aurora. We normally get big acoustics on these things, but here, no such luck. We have instead a relatively small acoustic. We have quite dry sounding things, quite front and center, appropriate to the aggressive Conqueror theme. Okay, and then we come in there. Now, the instruments that come in, we have Aurora coming in, relatively low in her range. Yeah, all the way down on a G. Normally Aurora is a whole lot higher than that. And we've also got a kind of watery sounding synthesizer in the background, and maybe a little bit of bass, and I think that might be it. Well, there might be one guitar maybe, doing a note at a time. The texture is still quite open. The bass is doing relatively short notes along with the bass drum. Like that. So it's absent for half of the bar. Just there at the beginning to root the chords. The chordal synthesizer is there, and same with the guitar. I think there's one in one side and one in another side, and it might not be a guitar, it might also be a synthesizer, but it seems to just be doing one note at a time. Actually, to be honest, it sounds maybe more like a Rhodes piano, sort of like amplified electric piano. So you've got those things, and they occur right at the beginning of the bar, just playing bring, spread chord, and then they stop for the rest, or they fade away for the rest of the bar. And in fact, that's happening on a 2-bar cycle. If we're thinking of it 1, 2, 3, 4, which admittedly is quite fast, isn't it? But I think it's kind of appropriate because that boom, boom, ba, boom, boom, ba, that normally comes like 1, 2, and 4, 1, and 4, 1, and 4. In slower music, 1, and 4, 1, and 4, and that's what it has the feeling of. If we were to do it in half speed, so instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, we were thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, bam, bam, ba, da, 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 da. We do get that, but that isn't. Maybe that is how this feels actually overall. Bam, bam, ba, da, ba. So that would be 1 E 2 and 1 E and. No, not 1 E, 1 A. 1 A and 1 A and 1 A and 3 and A. Yeah, could be. Could be. Either way, it doesn't really make a difference. Maybe because everything else is going that speed, Aurora is going down, 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 down. It would make sense to take it as that slower tempo, which would mean we're not at 180, we're at 90, we're at 90, half of 180. 90 beats per minute, which is a more sedate, more traditional kind of pace. We'll see how it evolves. It is sort of split into a first section, da 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 da, and then a second section, da 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 da, and then it repeats that again, da 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 da. So we get 2 repeats of the same thing, which is sort of based on the A. If the A moves like that, it's different notes, but it's the same kind of contour. Well, not the same contour quite, but the same rhythm and the same movement between the notes. We just have a flick on that last one, which we don't have on the A section. So it's like A, then you could maybe think of it as an A1 after that, but I would think of it as a B, because then we get that repeat of that B section. So it's sort of got its dominance over the A section, so we wouldn't think of it as a subservience of the A, at least the way I think. And then we just finish, da, 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 da. We just have one note, so we could consider that an addition to the second B section. So A, B, B1, pause is what we've got there. And we've got a 4-chord loop. The first chord is the same as the last. We've kind of got two parts, ba-da-ba-da-da-da-da-da-da, both again based on each other, but different to the verse part. Ba-da-ba-da-da-da-da-da-da, following the same kind of trajectory. The second one's just higher than the first one. And then we have that oh, oh, which we had just before, didn't we? Just before getting into this. So that was like a hark to the new section, like a herald of what was coming. So those are our 3 bits, and actually they occur pretty much in separate bars. Da 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 da. Okay, and then that's 3 bars left. What about the second 2, or the 4th and 5th? Well, we get ba da 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 again, but we don't get oh oh in the 6th because we don't have a 6th. That's an irregular number, and that really brings this chorus in fast. That's something we have come across with Aurora before. The pre-chorus that is an irregular length and leads into a chorus quicker than you expect. It's quite an exciting thing to do, and we can understand therefore why she does it fairly often. The texture there then is actually a little bit thinner, which is an irregularity. We normally sort of build through the pre-chorus into the chorus, but here we're actually losing instruments as we get into that pre-chorus. And then in that 4th bar, just before it, we get this in the background from some kind of string sound, maybe. And that sort of builds and then lets us into the new section. And we've also got harmony vocals, which we didn't really have in the first beginning at all. They came in with the oh, oh, which is one part, and then oh, oh, the second part. They're both layered over each other. So we've got 3 voices, 1 lead, 2 backing, and we've got the drums. And then we have that shining light string bit coming, leading us into the next section. So it gets thinner, which is an irregularity, but it's an effective thing, because if we get thinner before the chorus texture, which is presumably going to be nice and thick, is going to be more impressively thick than it was in the previous section. It's going to be more impressively thick because the previous section. We're back up into classic Aurora range. In fact, maybe a little higher than normal here, and really blasting that. What's it called? This bright high mix. Like it's forceful and aggressive, not like the previous section at all. Da 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 da. Sweet, and then da 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 da. Powerful stuff. Lovely. Okay. What else? I'm trying to avoid talking about the harmony, because there's stuff to say about that. Well, it's thicker, isn't it? But it's thicker with different instruments to what we had before. The synth, the wishy-washy synth, is actually now more of a heavy electronic synthesizer, like what we would get on Running with the Wolves, which is our next track on this album. Is quite heavy thing, even like Under Stars. it's really buzzy and fills the texture with a lot of harmonic information. Not that a lot of that is very clear. It's really focused on maybe one note. Let's hear just that one note in each of those bars, cutting through. I think it's doubled with a piano as well, just going bong or brum, something similar to that. So it's not just that holding the texture, but that is holding it through most of the bar by itself. Whereas the piano fades away, the synth can keep on buzzing. And there's this voice. Now, it's got a delay on it, I think, which means that it's coming into the left ear a little bit later. And it sounds kind of like two voices. There's a chance it's multi-tracked, but I think not. Do we have bass in? I think we basically have bass in, but it's doing the same thing as the synth, and the synth might as well be doing it by itself. I can't hear any rhythm being done by the bass. We've got slightly more complicated drums as well. We've got a kind of shaker sound, just giving us more rhythmic information, because until now we've basically just had that. We've just had that, which is good by itself, but it's not a lot of information, and so that just keeps all those quavers going. We've basically got every quaver covered now in just that one part. Okay, we're a 4-bar loop again, but what's the voice doing? The voice, a lot of repetition of the two things, but let's call that one phrase. Well, that's interesting, because that's actually a backwards version of the first one. The first one does that at the beginning, and the second one does that at the end. And then we go. So they're actually mirror phrases, taking up the first 3 bars of the 4, and then the 4th bar is basically left open, maybe to fill with something else later. Cool. So an A and a B, or an A and a terrible, something backwards that sounds like an A. How do you do it? A, so it would be yeah, A, yeah, I guess is what an A is backwards. And on that last bar, yeah, did we get that the first time? We got a lot of extra percussion suddenly there. Yeah. Yeah, lots more, like maybe low toms is what we're getting there, just on that last bit. And maybe also a tinkly, tonkly glockenspiel. That up an octave. Yeah, it's there. That up an octave is there on the glockenspiel, just for that moment. So that's something we haven't really got a lot of from Aurora, just coming in for one particular bar, or well, 2 bars at our faster pace here. Normally we keep things going through the texture from the beginning of the section to the end. So here, I guess we're using maybe more of a more production qualities and less live players, something like that. But anyway, the point is we've got extra things coming in to sort of make up for the fact that Aurora isn't there in that last 2 bars, which works pretty well. So this time we've got what do you call it? Harmony vocal. So there's Aurora and there's a lower harmony vocal, just as strong, just as clearly as Aurora, and they're both locked in, always moving together. Very strong bolstering of the melody. And then for the 2 bars at the end, we get slightly different feel. Here it comes. So it dissipates the synth, and the piano doesn't play either. We get only the drums with the shaker, We don't get, I think, the thickest drum texture, but we do also get the do 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 from the other thing. Sorry, my CD player has I've just turned off my CD player, and it needs to therefore eat the CD thing, which normally sticks out. It's very old. Where was I? Talking about Aurora. Yeah, talking about Aurora. But what was I saying? Conqueror. Yes, we get the glockenspiel. Do, 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 do. Just at the end there. We have had things like glockenspiel before. I think they come up fairly regularly in Aurora, but I think the only one we've had it in so far is Awakening, where it plays sort of the main melody in the instrumental sections. Okay, all right, let's keep them also not just following the shaker rhythm, but they are adding that extra and that we were missing before. Was what we were doing before, but now we're doing so it never stops. We've got every quaver full. Nice. Okay, so this is our pre-chorus again. And again, we get those 5 bars that we had before, and we get the oh, oh. Did we get them leading in this time? We would expect them in a moment. We did get them, and we got that thing coming in as well, building one of those shining lights, but this one's a little lower and a little more aggressive light, I suppose, like a red light. There's something else to say. Yes, the melody doesn't quite follow the same contour as it does in the first thing, but it does end at the same time, so that's as much as we'll say about that right now. And then, yeah, the pre-chorus seems pretty similar, but with a much thicker texture than last time. We don't seem to go down in texture so obviously. So we've got this shining light all the way here, just holding on straight from the beginning. The thick drums are still there. We don't have the bass. Actually, we do have something doing the bass. It's a synthesizer, though. It's not a simple bum bum of a bass. It's got that dang dang. It's got that grit on it. But there's no seduction, only destruction. Oh, fantasy, take me over and break me. And the shimmer taking us in as well. And we've got harmony vocals on the main vocal there, as well as the extra harmony vocals that come in for that. And we had the heavy drums, and we also had the melody. That one. So, after a double chorus, not unheard of, not always that we have a double chorus, but we do often have the second chorus as a double chorus, then we would be into our exploration zone, our bridge or other. Let's see. Is it new? Is it new material? Yes. Is it sparser? Yes. So that's another Aurora classic thing to happen here. It's sparser bridge with new material. Obviously, for it to be a bridge, it needs some new material. So that's what we've got. What have we got texturally then? We've still got the bass. Dum, 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 dum. That's keeping up, but we don't have the snare going with it. And we're missing some of those last beats. That's interesting. So the first time, bum, 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 we get it, but then that second time, bum, bum, missing, bum, bum, missing for the third, bum, bum, missing for the fourth. So we're going for overall a less propulsive feeling. We're missing that second one, so it just goes into empty open air. We've got some harmony vocals, but these are lower key, singing lower notes in a less affronting manner. The melody, I think, is still quite on. A sound that I don't remember hearing in the whole thing. With a melody that I don't remember hearing in the rest either. guess it's kind of like that one from the beginning. But yeah, dum 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 dum, with a little bit of echo. I don't know, that seems like a bit of a downbeat ending in comparison. But it's so common for an Aurora song to suddenly lose texture at the end of the song as well. Go to a sparser thing just before the end. But I think it would have been nice to have the being the last thing. But they actually just removed that, and they removed everything else, and we just got the echo of everything else. Well, okay, nice. A little bit of a downbeat ending, but nonetheless a very powerful song altogether, with a lot of grit and spunk to it. Sorry for that horrible noise before the word spunk, as I debated whether to say spunk. It is spunk. It's spunk. It's spunky. Sorry.